defense. And suddenly, I know these things don't theoretically matter, but for recruiting purposes and whatnot, if C.J. Stroud goes out there and dazzles over the last 4 or 5 games, there's no reason why a guy that was relegated to being second fiddle can't be a front runner for the Heisman Trophy. I think this Ohio State offense will be too hard for Indiana to contend with. And the problem for the Hoosiers is once they get out of striking distance, whether it's Michael Penix and I believe it'll be Jack Tuttle, they just don't have the ability to make plays or use their passing game to get back into it. So I think Indiana can keep this tight and competitive early on, but I think Ohio State's pedigree ultimately is the difference in Bloomington.
My grandmother used to tell me that a watched pot will never boil. I keep waiting for Clemson to boil. When are they going to boil? Is it this week? Because I'm watching, man. I'm watching.
It's a great question. And when you look at Clemson, for me, I've downgraded them more than 2 touchdowns as far as their overall power profile coming into the season. This game, in a game of the year numbers that were widely available, Clemson would have been right around a 17 to a 17.5 point favorite. Suddenly, Kenny Pickett has put on quite the show and has thrust himself into the mix for catapulting into the early rounds of the NFL draft and a little bit of a dark horse candidate to win the Heisman. But when you dig into the resume of Clemson, it's crazy to think about it, guys, but if they don't end up losing that game in NC State, which they should have lost in overtime, we're talking about a one-loss Clemson team who played Georgia as tight as anybody has all season long, so they're very much in the thick of the playoff discussion. The problem being is you look at what Clemson has done against FBS opponents as far as offensive outputs, 3, 14, 21, 19, and 17. If Pittsburgh gets rolling downhill, I'm just not sure Clemson has enough in the tank to keep them in this game from start to finish. You look at one common opponent they played in Georgia Tech. Clemson outlasted Tech 14-8 in a disjointed game that was interrupted by weather. Pittsburgh hugged 52 on that Yellow Jackets defense. But my numbers still don't make Pitt a 3-point favorite in this spot. So this is a game I'm curious to watch more so than tangle with from a betting perspective.
This is a weird thing you probably don't even keep up with, but I noticed it earlier today as I was looking ahead to our segment. There are 4 late slate games in the NFL, and only one of them is less than double digits in the point spread. And you rarely see double-digit NFL point spreads. You got 3 of the 4 in the late slate.
It's starting to be a real separation at this point in the season of the haves and have-nots. So not a whole lot of intrigue there when you talk about the Rams, a 15-point favorite, the Bucks, almost a 14-point favorite sitting at 13, and then the Cardinals, the biggest favorite on the board at 17.5. There aren't even good teaser options to try and get involved with as far as NFL sides are concerned. The craziest part about that, not only do you have 3 games that appear to be blowouts on paper for the late slate in the NFL, you do not have a college football game, to my knowledge, kicking off after 7:30 Eastern other than Hawaii and New Mexico State this weekend. Not quite sure what's going on, but I'm not going to know what to do with my Sunday afternoon when I don't have to watch these junk games. And Saturday night, I might actually get to leave the house for the first time in the fall.
Hey, now that they're 6-0, are you guys starting to see some money as far as futures on Arizona to win a Super Bowl?
There's a little bit of money coming in. Books always typically take some liability on these long shots because they don't adjust them down quickly enough. And when you look at Arizona's upcoming schedule, it's extremely manageable. I did see a few shops put up when Arizona would suffer their first loss. And I think it's a great question to try and figure out if it could be Green Bay on a short week, if you're talking about Indianapolis closer to Christmas time, if Seattle may have Russell Wilson back. But the Cardinals, to their credit, have gone out there and done it in dominant fashion. The offense is as dynamic as we've seen in the league, at least through the first 6 games. And defensively, I think this group is only going to get better. Would I make them a favorite over everyone in the NFL right now on a neutral? Absolutely not. But I'd be foolish to try and ignore them, especially in the wake of having a Cleveland Browns ticket -2.5 last weekend that I was able to put in the circular file after just 3 drives.
You said on neutral site you would not make them a favorite over everyone. We did our power rankings earlier. Who is your top team right now in the NFL?
For me, it's Kansas City and Buffalo that are still neck and neck, and the Tampa is right there behind them. All 3 of those teams on a neutral, you'd be talking about separated given the week by 1 to 1.5 points max. They've distanced themselves, and I think when you look at Tampa, that secondary is going to get healthier. Buffalo was merely a blip in my estimation for how they performed against Tennessee. And when you look at Kansas City, this is the most mystifying team because they've been done in by turnovers and self-inflicted wounds. If Kansas City can clean up some of those errors, this offense is as good as we've seen in the past. They're only going to get better if they can integrate Josh Gordon fully into the offensive mix. And defensively, they're going to get healthier when you look at the return of Willie Gay. You talk about Chris Jones dealing with a wrist injury. So I think it'd be foolish and a little bit premature to write Kansas City off for dead, despite the national narrative that wants to pencil him in as a middle-of-the-pack team in the AFC.
But see, I was going to give you a great topic to discuss on your show. I was going to say, are the Kansas City Chiefs the NFL version of the Clemson Tigers this year? And you're telling me, no, you're still buying it. You're waiting for them to be what they're supposed to be, sort of like I am with the Clemson Tigers.
Well, the one thing with Clemson is just the offensive yards aren't there. So that's the bigger problem for Clemson. And when you look at some of their metrics, I mean, there's no reason for me to believe they can wave a magic wand when they're 113th in scoring offense, 84th in rushing offense, 107th in passing offense, 115 in total offense, and they average just 4.95 yards per play, which is good enough for 115th in the country. Kansas City, from a yardage standpoint, is the second most prolific offense in the NFL behind only the Dallas Cowboys. It's just that turnover margin that's been impossible for them to overcome. And if last weekend's second half against Washington was an indication for where this defense can go, I think Kansas City is a stock that you may want to buy low, especially at plus $1.20 to win the AFC West, unless you truly believe in the Raiders. And I think the Chargers, as the book gets out on Brandon Staley, we'll see how a first-year head coach can adjust when the games start to mean a lot more.
All right, he's Todd Fuhrman. You can follow him on Twitter there at Todd Fuhrman, bettheboardpodcast.com, and see him at Outkick. Fuhrman, thank you for the time. Enjoy your week.
You got it, gentlemen. Best of luck with all your picks this weekend.
Thank you, buddy. You too. Todd Fuhrman with us on the Pepsi Hotline.
All right, UAB officially applying for the ACC membership. Brown's got some stuff on that before the hour is done. That is one of 6 schools applying for membership, and the reaction around the country has not been fantastic. It's been good for UAB, but the rest of the people who are joining the league is not wowing anybody. But UAB, at least in those discussions, if you read every story, getting positive reviews. When we come back, LT's got our 3 and Out in our next segment, and still to come this hour, our upset alert today. Rockstar, tell us about your man.
Sorry they did. Don't I got a little upset. Adam is a third-generation realtor, born and raised in Birmingham. It's Adam Mestre, by the way, so he knows the area. You want a guy like Adam to find a house for you. Why rent when you can buy? Buying a home is the largest financial decision you will make, so make sure you are using an agent that you can trust to help you walk through the process. Call Adam Mestre for a free home evaluation at 205-422-0589 at MD Realty. We make house calls.
Scottie Pippen Jr. of Vandy is the SEC preseason player of the year in basketball. Kentucky, Alabama, Arkansas, Tennessee, and Auburn 1 through 5 there in the media's SEC preseason picks there. Just the way Bruce Pearl likes it. So he can say, they picked us 5th. We're back in the next round.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, if you're looking for a local agent to handle all of your insurance needs, you need to call my good friend James Anthony at the James Anthony Agency, 205-985-7717. Hoover, Birmingham, Northport, and Tuscaloosa has been in business over 20 years. The James Anthony Agency.
We know that juicy, cheesy, grilled to perfection burger sounds amazing, but it does sound like something is missing. Pepsi, baby. The yin to this burger's yang. Burgers and Pepsi go together like burgers and Pepsi. This perfect blending of flavors makes every bite of lettuce, every sesame seed on the bun, and every sip of that crisp, refreshing, ice-cold cola a journey to Foodtopia. Burgers, better with Pepsi. That's what I like.
Hi, this is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store. Getting the whole family into comfortable shoes can be an incredible feat, but not at New Balance Birmingham. We have the largest selection and inventory of any specialty shoe store, and our fit specialist will match your feet with the perfect New Balance shoe. Come see us at the New Balance Birmingham store, located on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A. Experience the difference a custom fit makes today at New Balance Birmingham.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
The Double Down Media podcast family is live and full of content for all ages. The Mystery Fifth Hour gives the Next Round host a chance to talk about everything but sports. Pour a glass of Bama and bourbon, our weekly college football conversation while sipping some of the most interesting pours in the bourbon world. And our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call. LT takes off the gloves for an in-depth conversation with stars like Taylor Hicks, presented by Redmond Vodka. Find those podcasts and more by searching The Next Round on Apple, Spotify, and on our website, nextroundlive.com.
Drunk driving prevention is a priority at Anheuser-Busch. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there. Encourage friends to join in the pledge to Decide to Ride on DecideToRide.com. Brought to you by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Birmingham Budweiser, and The Next Round. Anheuser-Busch, St. Louis, Missouri.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. Let Holly Mack Wilson put you in a new home for the holidays. A new place to have a family Thanksgiving dinner. A new place to put up the Christmas tree and hide the presents. A new place to ring in the new year with friends and family. Holly Mack Wilson, putting a new meaning to home for the holidays. Call Holly Mack Wilson today, 205-901-9446. That's 205-901-9446. Holly Mack Wilson, a Tuscaloosa Keller Williams agent. For your next round of residential and commercial termite protection, pest prevention, mosquito control, and lawn care services, do what my family does and trust Wayne's. Ryan Brown here from the Next Round. Wayne's may be headquartered here in Birmingham, but they're serving more than 100,000 families and businesses across SEC country, from Tuscaloosa to Auburn and Nashville to Knoxville. And right now, get started with their EnviroPest service for $60 off when you use the code TNR. Get started by calling 866-WAYNES1 and don't forget the code TNR for $60 off your initial EnviroPest service.
Before we get to 3 and Out today, let's get to the Pepsi hotline. Jeff in Anniston starts us off this segment. Jeff, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Gala. I got that soul power. I was tripping out there for a minute. I went away and came back and put y'all back on, and Brown was taking Missouri over A&M in his upset pick. And I was like, what the hell? He's trying to lose. Last week.
That was last week's game. Yeah. We lost. We lost our YouTube connection for a moment, and that resets. It kicked you to a different Next Round show.
I didn't realize that, but and I guess I'm uncool, but I like Jeff Foxworthy. The other day I thought he was great on game day. I like Nickelback.
I thought he was good on game day too, and here's why. He brought something to the picks, right?
Right.
He had something to say.
The jokes are awful. You could not have liked that.
The jokes were bad.
They were terrible.
I thought the one pretty funny.
Yeah, I thought the one something they're dirtier than the water in
that was the worst one.
Yeah.
That was the best one.
The windshield wiper thing.
Yeah,
the squeegee water at the gas station.
What was the pick? Do you remember the pick, Jeff?
I don't know.
I thought that was the best one.
I turned it off, honestly. It was
and more pressure than a Dolly Parton's bra strap.
Yeah.
I know that's kind of aged, but I like that stuff. I like Sound of Music. Like I say, I guess I'm not cool. But, did y'all see where Derrick Henry set the record for yards rushed in a 40-game stretch in NFL history?
I did not see that.
No, they're breaking down Derrick Henry more and more, but I saw where Wilbon compared him to the impact Emmitt Smith had on the game. Emmitt Smith, is he still the all-time leading rusher?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he compared him to Emmitt Smith, the impact he's having on the game.
I honestly think he I mean, Clay Travis said the other day he's the non-quarterback MVP. I think you can make an argument for him being the actual MVP.
I can see that too.
Yeah, but it depends on what Tennessee does.
Well, I know. I'm just saying right now, I mean, through a month and a half of the season, I could make a legitimate argument for Derrick Henry being league MVP. Now, it's probably Kyler Murray. If I had to vote, I think I'd go Kyler. But I could make a great argument for Derrick Henry.
He broke Jim Brown's. In a 40-game stretch, Henry's got almost 4,800 yards, and that's before last night game. That's not bad in the NFL.
No, and you know, I don't know how you are, Jeff, but when I was growing up, my dad and my grandfather talked like Jim Brown only went down when he wanted to go down or ran out of the end zone and handed the ball to the referee. Like, he was untackable. I never saw Jim Brown play except on the NFL Films tape, but they loved Jim Brown and what he brought to the game. So to be mentioned with Jim Brown says it all
Impressive.
in my book. Yeah,
right. And I know y'all probably said this already, but this week's games there's not many good games at all. You know, there's some pretty good ones, but no great ones. And the SEC slate's bad, and next week the SEC slate's even worse. Didn't it seem like October used to always be? I mean, there's nothing but good games every week.
Yeah, but I've always felt like the SEC slate, the week of the cocktail party, which is next week, is the worst week we get every year.
It's holding up this year.
I mean, how are you upset? I mean, we've got unbelievable third Saturday in October, one of the great football rivalries of all time, Tennessee and Alabama.
Well, Alabama's a given. I guess I'm going by the rest of the slate.
And then LSU and Ole Miss. I mean, come on. You got one coach who's got an extra golf ball now bringing it to the game.
Great
the other
games.
coach who's fired.
Great games, I said. Not interesting games. There's some interesting games. I mean, Notre Dame, USC, Clemson, Pitt, to me, I'm interested in seeing it. Just not a great game.
I mean, you take those two SEC games that I just took off. I mean, you have Arkansas, Pine Bluff, and Arkansas, which sounds like the first round of a 1 seed versus 16
really
seed in the
does.
NCAA tournament.
Yeah.
Mississippi State playing Vandy. Have they scored an SEC point yet, Vandy?
Yeah, they did against South Carolina.
20 last
few of
week.
those field goals.
Yeah, they almost won.
Hey,
And then Zeb Nolan in South Carolina
Yeah.
against Texas A&M. What more do you want on a Saturday?
Jeff, I did bring this up, though. I think there's an opportunity, if everything breaks right, for 7 or 8 non-ranked teams to beat ranked teams. So as bad as it looks on paper, and these matchups aren't great, there's some weirdness that could happen this week.
I agree. I think there's just not a lot of really good teams this year. I mean, was Iowa losing to Purdue the biggest non-surprise loss ever by number 2 to a non-ranked team?
Yeah, just because I never thought Iowa was number 2.
And they dominated wire to wire. I mean, if you watch the game, it wasn't even close. I mean, Purdue was the better team.
And that kind of gets me to, all right, this kind of tongue-in-cheek, but is Nebraska the best 5-loss team in the nation? But
I really think they are. I do.
I don't know,
They
man.
are.
Nah, I mean, you don't lose to Minnesota. Minnesota's terrible this year.
But who do y'all think
Minnesota hasn't lost since Bowling Green.
yeah, that last 2 words you said means everything.
It sounds terrible, but the last couple of they beat Purdue, they beat Nebraska.
I'll find a better 5-loss team than Nebraska.
Minnesota's got to be better than Nebraska if they beat them.
They're better than Navy. Navy's a 5-loss team. I'd take Nebraska over Navy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So how the heck is Army and Wake such a close spread?
Lance?
Well, have you watched Army play? I mean,
Lance, you like
Army?
it's a tough defense.
I like this Wake
offense.
team a lot. Again, they're 6-0 for the first time since 1944. But I think it is that tricky Army offense you got to prepare for. And Army was being shut out at halftime against Wisconsin, came back, lost that game by a possession. I think Wisconsin's going to get a little bit better. That's one of those games, Wisconsin at Purdue this week. I think Wisconsin, the favorite, will beat Purdue. And I think Army will I think they win that game.
And,
oh, wow.
And to go back to our 5-loss discussion, I think it comes down to Cal versus Nebraska. Whoever you like in that game, Cal versus Nebraska.
I say Cal
as the best 5-loss team in America.
Who do y'all think the most overrated team, either in the rankings and or just how people think of them, that you're just not buying that way?
Michigan State.
Yeah, I was going to say Michigan State as well.
Yeah. I mean, watching them
Michigan
against
or Michigan State?
Michigan State.
I think Michigan will beat Michigan State next week. But watching Michigan State this past weekend, Kenneth Walker's been really good this year. But Indiana did a good job of limiting him, and I just don't think outside of him you can do much. They should have lost that game.
Just go look at their wins. That's all you got to do with Michigan State. Go look at the teams they played. They have played absolutely nobody. Their schedule's
coming into the
up.
season, it looked pretty good because Miami was supposed to be better. Indiana was supposed to be better.
But their schedule has been awful to this point. Their real schedule is coming up right now.
I think it's Oklahoma State. I think they're about to lose 4 games before the year's over.
Woo! Man, you can't get no respect. They can't get respect from you either, can they?
Nope.
Wow.
I think they're pretty good.
I do too.
But I think they'll lose this weekend.
For a while, it seemed, it looked like the East was starting to get close to the West, but to me now they're right back to where they were a few years ago. Georgia's schedule, and not take nothing from them because I still think they're the best team, but this is as easy an SEC schedule I can remember a team having to play. How about y'all?
No, I agree completely. They may not have to play an elite quarterback until they get to Alabama.
Yeah, but with that said, Georgia's the only team that's beaten 4 ranked teams this year.
They have. But to his point,
who's their best win?
Oh, Jersey-wise is Clemson. And,
I would say Auburn right now.
Auburn right now.
The road.
Yep.
Auburn, right. That's what I'm saying. And then, like you said, they don't play nobody until the SEC championship game.
Mm-hmm.
So their best win of the regular season might be Auburn.
Yeah.
That's pretty weak SEC
LT,
schedule.
LT told you Alabama's most difficult game remaining is
Auburn.
Remaining, yeah. Okay. But at least they've had a little tougher run of it so far. I don't know. It just seemed like an unbelievable. When you look at their schedule, it looks unbelievably easy for SEC.
Yeah.
But
Well,
anyway, guys, thanks a lot.
Who's Alabama's best win?
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I mean,
they're a top 15 team, one loss, and they dominated.
One loss team.
Yeah, I agree. They did dominate. All right, 3 Now time brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Tire. Rockstar, let's do this right now. Vulcan Tire and 4 locations.
Yeah, anything you need bumper to bumper for you and your family, our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive, they can handle from the brake pads, wheel alignment, tires, and more. Stop by, see our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive.
First down.
Which offense do you believe more in right now, Ohio State or Alabama?
I think Ohio State's has played much better, but I have not seen. Here's why I would believe in Alabama's the most. I have not seen Alabama's quarterback play as bad as I have seen Ohio State's quarterback play. Alabama's quarterback, Bryce Young, has been more consistent than C.J. Stroud.
I don't think you'll see that again from C.J.
You may not, but I have seen it, and I have not seen it with Bryce Young yet.
I think I'm going to take Alabama.
I think I would take Ohio State. I do think Bama's got the better quarterback. I think Ohio State's got the better offensive line. They've got the better receivers. They've got the better running back.
Well, that says a lot about Bryce Young, if all that is true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think C.J. Stroud is really good, but I think the better offense is Ohio State.
Yeah, I'm going to go Alabama.
Second down.
Okay, better chance of happening. Braves lose this series to the Dodgers, or Georgia loses a regular season game this year.
Oh, gosh. I think that's one of the easiest ones you've asked. Better chance of the Braves losing the series. This is the Braves we're talking about.
We're talking about Georgia, too.
Look at that schedule.
Yeah. What was your tweet last night?
What
What was your tweet when Georgia football sent out, and I think Forrester posted.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, Forrester has the Georgia tweet that they sent out. Kirby Smart's land mining right there.
Right. My tweet was, it's like the Titanic wishing the Hindenburg safe travels.
So perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. And they did that when they were actually up in the game, right?
Yeah, I don't know when it hit.
Yeah, they did in the middle of the game.
Wow.
Yeah. I think Georgia doesn't lose the game. So I'm gonna say more likely the team in Atlanta.
I would lean Braves. I actually wrote that before when the Braves were up by 3 runs.
4 o'clock was when that tweet was sent. So yeah, it was during the game, right at the start of it, maybe.
Third down.
Okay, get the visual. We've got a seesaw and a park. Rocky, you can jump in here. On one side, you've got NBA Commissioner Adam Silver. On the other side, you got Paul Feinbaum. Who hits the ground first?
Silver. I think Silver's got some height on him.
Yeah, I think Silver's got to be heavier than Feinbaum.
I would go Adam Silver too.
I've never seen Silver out in the wild.
Silver
I've seen
turns sideways, you can't see him. Watching him again last night interview, there's no way.
But I agree. I think that the fact that we've never seen him in person, and you see him always behind a podium or a double box or around NBA people.
Yeah.
I mean, the NBA people make you look so much smaller. I think he's probably twice the size of Feinbaum.
Rockstar hit this. I'm going to blow you guys away. How tall is Adam Silver?
I'm going to say he's 6'1".
Say 6'3".
6'3".
There is no
That's what
way
I'm
he's
telling
6'3".
you. 6'3" is what Google says.
Yeah, how tall are you?
He's taller.
Almost 6'3".
Yeah, he's
So he's
Lance's
taller
height.
than both of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's hard to believe.
It is hard to believe that Adam Silver's that tall.
Taller than me stacked on top of each other.
What does he weigh? 150?
He might weigh above 50, but he's 6'3".
He's like Christian Bale and Machinist.
He's so skinny.
Okay, Snoop Dogg, 50 years old today.
Yeah, I saw that.
Tom Petty would have been 67 today if I
Tom
asked
Petty.
you better career.
Tom Petty. The Rockstar's
Let's
right.
jump it on it quick.
Tom Petty.
I can understand Tom Petty from your point of view, but I think it's Snoop Dogg, and
I think cultural impact.
He's still laying it out there. I mean, Snoop Dogg's still. I mean, he's got a lot of money. He's got a lot of money making years left.
Yeah. I would lean Snoop.
Tom Petty can't help it that he died.
No, he can't. Cannot help that.
Snoop Dogg's my
And
answer.
I think Tom Petty smoked weed, so that.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
I bet they smoked together at one particular
guaranteed.
time.
I would bet on it. Yes.
Neither one of them were having a problem with their eyesight, I don't think.
No glaucoma in that group.
Nope.
All right, that is 3 and Out, brought to you by our friends at Vulcan Tires.
Again, locally owned and operated. Anything you need bumper to bumper, our friends at Vulcan Tire and Automotive, they can help. From the brake pads, the wheel alignment, tires, and more. Stop by one of those 4 great locations. They're online, vulcantireandauto.com.
Upset Alert is up next. Get the lights ready, get the horns ready. We'll pick a big winner. LT says it's a bloodbath this week, so his has got to be a lock. It's next.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round. Major situation the other day. Basement and garage flooded. So who did I call? Our friends at Dry Tech Water Restoration. Call them today, 205-637-0143. They were at my house within an hour. They will always respond quickly, and they answer the phone, 205-637-0143. They work for the customer, not the insurance company. No ties to any insurance companies. Go online, mydrytech.com. That's mydrytech.com, or call 205-637-0143. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, brombergs.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at HydroLive Therapy. Boost your immune system today with HydroLive Therapy. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. Mention next round at checkout. Save 20% off any service at the Birmingham and Tuscaloosa locations. If you're unable to make it to HydroLive, a nurse can actually come to your home or office. You can visit them online today, hydrolifetherapy.com. HydroLive Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood 9 to 6 and Tuscaloosa 10 to 6. Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com. The latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Wayne's. Look, fall is here. You want to enjoy that outdoor weather. Imagine sitting out there on the Saturday, manning the grill. You're watching football. You don't want to deal with the mosquitoes. Don't let the mosquitoes ruin your perfect day. The professionals at Wayne's can protect you, your family, and your pets. Call today, 1-866-WAYNES1. You can always go online, callwaynes.com. Fall weather is here. Enjoy it with the family, mosquito-free. You can do it with our friends at Wayne's.
Want more of the show? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast, The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family, all at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Say you had the greatest job in the world, which everyone knows is crafting pumpkin fresh frozen custard desserts at Culver's. Here would be your typical day. Pour farm fresh dairy into the custard maker and run continuously all day. Add real pumpkin puree and pumpkin pie spice, then craft our pumpkin spice shake or salted caramel pumpkin concrete mixer. Yum! Serve with a great big pumpkin lovin' smile.
Just like that, pumpkin's back at Culver's, but not for long. Welcome to Delicious.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. Football season is now in full swing, and you need to be winning with us at lanceslock.com. You get the free lock during the show, but get even more with a subscription at lanceslock.com. Get Lance's full slate of college football games every Saturday, as well as Sunday's NFL, all with the same subscription. No complicated or expensive weekend packages. Get everything. All leagues, every day. Only $90 a month, breaking down to $3 a day. If you want to win this football season, jump on your phone, tablet, or computer right now and go to lanceslock.com and get on board with us.
If you need to move, you only need 2 men and a truck. Local or long distance, they can pack it, load it, move it, unload it, and arrange it when you get there. See more details at 2menandatruck.com or call the Tuscaloosa Northport location, 205-614-8522, 205-614-8522. And guess what? You can get a free quote on your moving cost up front, to or from campus, from your apartment to your next home, or from Tuscaloosa to L.A. Your next move starts and ends with 2menandatruck.com.
Back with you on the next round. Upset alert coming up in a second. Baseball later today, 4 o'clock for the American League Championship Series, 7 o'clock tonight for the National League Championship Series as the regional team tries to stay ahead of the team from the West Coast in the series that I can't talk about. Part of our show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill.
Yeah, when something's not running right, flowing right, draining right, or flushing right, disaster can strike at any moment. I recently experienced that myself in my own home. The first thing I did was call Hemp Hill Services, Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill. The only ones I trust to fix it right the first time. They always do it right, always at a fair price for all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090.
All right. Upset alert time. Rockstar, get the horns ready and everything. Let's pick the winners for the upcoming week. Hit it, Rocky.
The America's first Federal Credit Union Spotlight.
Sound the alarm. Woo, 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 woo. College football's upset alert.
Jimmy, what America's First knows is banking isn't just about your money. It is about you getting help with what you need when you need it. Am First was founded for you, and Am First has been putting you first ever since.
All right, LT with a big win last week, getting 3 points because he had a super dog and picked the winner. He's blowing the ink dry for another win right here. Give me an upset alert.
Do you guys remember October 30th of last year?
You know, Lance, I do not.
October 30th.
It was a Friday night
sure it
game.
Existed.
I'm not sure I remember
Maryland
Monday.
was playing Minnesota. Minnesota had a 17-point lead in the fourth quarter, and then
disaster.
Tallulah, Tagovailoa.
Oh, no.
Pulled out the magic. Triple overtime. They won the game. This week they're catching 5. Minnesota has won back-to-back games. I'm going to play the Terrapins plus the 5. As you see there at the bottom with my incredible hieroglyphics, Loxley does scare me.
Right.
Not a big Mike Loxley guy, but I am going to take Maryland here plus the 5. I think it's too many points.
Okay. What about you, Brownie? Give me your upset alert.
I am going to go to a Southeastern Conference game, a team that found their run game last week, I should say. A team that realized we can run the football. A team that is now playing to send their coach off right. And a team that is playing another team that is going to be focused on one family, but not enough on the football game. I'm going LSU plus the 9.5. Rockstar?
Take them. You don't need them.
I need them.
Oh.
I need them this week. LSU's not going to win this game, but Ole Miss is going to score late to snap victory from the jaws of defeat.
And how many yards will Davis Price have against that Ole Miss defense?
It is 13th in the league against the rush, so he should be able to run up and down the field on it. Now, LSU doesn't stop the run particularly well, and Ole Miss runs well. That worries me. But LSU plus the 9.5.
I've learned in 3 days of using our $3.95 dry erase boards that I would not pick me to be on my team in Pictionary.
Right? You don't draw well.
I don't even know what I draw when I draw it.
I do.
Yeah, Lance nails it. Lance would be a good teammate.
See if you can guess.
My upset alert today is in the Southeastern Conference. I was in Starkville last week. I think there's a problem between the Pirate and his quarterback, who's also a little banged up. I'm going to ride with Clark Lee and Vanderbilt this week.
Yikes.
I'm going to take Vandy plus 20.5, and I'm not sure I don't need the points.
Is that?
Whoa.
I know you're trying with the anchors down. Is that a banana though, or?
That is supposed to be an anchor, but I lost it as I was doing it.
And that's your pirate flag?
Got bit a little bit.
That is my pirate flag.
A good anchor.
It was supposed to be a skull and a crossbone, but I like Vandy plus the 20.5.
Well, Will Rogers, I guess, will play with one arm again, right?
Yeah. So a one-armed pirate or an anchor. Who do you want?
I kind of like your Vanderbilt play here.
You do?
Yeah. I don't know about Browns yet. I think Davis Price will be able to run the football. Just wonder how healthy Corral is. If Corral's healthy,
it's a huge question. Do you know? You don't like Vandy outright? You just like him covering the 20.5? Not you, Jim.
No, they're not going to win outright.
I think they can win the game.
Yeah, because Jim said he thinks they can win the game.
How are they going to score?
Yeah, they don't ever score.
They could win the game 3-0. 3-0.
Vanderbilt now has lost 1,100 straight SEC games.
Yep.
They were lucky to beat UConn on a last-second field goal.
That is correct. Buddy, they had South Carolina dead to rights.
They did.
Dead to rights.
Vandy. Zeb Nolan is not walking through that Mississippi State locker room door.
He might start if he was there.
Yeah. I thought about going with South Carolina against Texas A&M, but I thought Vandy was the better play.
You could actually play well, you couldn't play the dot. You could play the Braves because that would be an upset alert because the Braves are now dogs.
I am not talking about that game at all. But the upset alert every week is brought to you by our friends at America's First Federal Credit Union.
You know, Jim, what they know is banking isn't just about your money. It is about you getting help with what you need when you need it. AmFirst was founded for you, and AmFirst has been putting you first ever since.
Here's an injury update on Mississippi State's quarterback, according to Lance.
It's the old one-arm quarterback.
Yep.
Well, it's the.
Oh, he's got a long-ass tongue.
He does.
Hey, you put his middle kickstand on there too. Look at that. That's the first time I've seen somebody do a stick man.
Nobody else draws their stick man anatomically correct.
It's a tripod.
And by the way, congratulations.
Wow.
And he's got a little dimple coming out of it. Like
they don't call him Big Will Rogers for nothing.
Old Slick Willie. What is their backup situation? I brought this up with Suttles yesterday on Bama and Bourbon. They were supposed to have 7 scholarship quarterbacks when we talked about them in the offseason, and they let him. I cannot believe that kid finished that game.
I really couldn't either. I could not believe they kept it. Every time he threw, he grabbed his shoulder. Every single time he threw, he grabbed his shoulder.
And it's not like they were in the game, you know?
No, I mean.
Pain management, Brown, and it's all about pain management. He wasn't managing it very well.
Well, I mean, again, like Lance said, this was the biggest quarterback room in all of college football in the offseason. And now they're not willing to put any of them out there.
And we just had, Jack Abraham transferred, right?
Yeah. I mean, I'm with you, Lance. I thought they would have gone to the backup.
Do you know, though, through their first 6 games, how many other quarterbacks have attempted a pass?
No.
It would be 0.
0?
Will Rogers
He's thrown every ball.
339 attempts.
Right.
I'm really confused because typically Mike Leach goes back and forth.
Yes, he does. I read it, Jim. I read your joke.
Got it. Do I have an eraser too? Do we have one eraser we share?
Yeah. What happened to the eraser? We had
for $3.95. You don't get an eraser.
Yeah. Can we go buy some?
Yeah.
Maybe. Somebody money left over.
Somebody behind the glass.
Use your sleeve, man.
Forrester promised me erasers for everybody.
Wow.
All right, that's our upset alert. Our final segment's coming up. Appreciate the great Lauren Sisler from the SEC Network is in studio with T-shirt. She's got one of the next round T-shirts on. Are you able to be on our platform? Do you know? Is that legal? Your contract?
This is awesome, by the way, doing this on the
fly.
Well,
come step in front of the camera real quick.
Come stand.
Lauren
stand
Sisler.
You're stand here.
Oh, I was going to get her in front of
Okay, you can go in front of the side.
Can we get a shot?
I tell you what, you can jump on. Do we have any time? You can have my mic.
No.
We're good.
Just look at that T-shirt there.
That's
there
right.
you go.
Rockstar, am I looking at you?
Yeah, you look at Rockstar.
So right there right there in the shop, you can buy that T-shirt. They exist, and I think it's a good-looking T-shirt. It's the first one I've seen in person.
Yep.
Yeah.
Didn't Brown create that
I
one?
did create that one, yeah. That was my idea.
Yeah.
Can I shout out my husband
for
this? It was a gift. I came home from one of my games because I can't remember where I'm at every week. So I think it was maybe the Tulsa game. I got home, and this was sitting out on the bed.
Oh, your husband had ordered it for you, huh?
He's telling you cannot travel outside of those states, right?
Yeah, but I have a bone to pick with y'all. I get it, but, I'm from Virginia.
Well, but you're not in the SEC.
It's an SEC thing.
I get it. I know, but
Yeah.
Virginia.
I'm sorry.
Maybe we
join
can
the conference.
Like up here.
Join the conference. We'll do one for the
By
ACC.
the way, they've got a quarterback. Brennan Armstrong would start for Georgia. He really would.
I think he would. Yeah, I'll take that.
He's pretty solid.
Yeah. Just saying.
All righty.
What am I supposed to say?
The next round is next.
Brought to you by
The next round is next.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
Banking isn't just about your money, it's about you. It's about getting help with what you need when you need it. AmFirst was founded for members just like you, and they've been putting those members first since 1936. Putting you first means services that grow and change with the times to serve you better. Now, every bank has their own app, but that's just it. It's theirs, not yours. The AmFirst app was made for you, so it's easy to pay bills, deposit checks, or transfer money to friends and family from anywhere. You can even customize the app, which means you can personalize your dashboard, create usage alerts, and redeem points for rewards that will make you feel like the number one priority you are. And you can do it all on your own time. So what are you waiting for? Get the app made for you from AmFirst. Visit any AmFirst location or amfirst.org today. That's amfirst.org, America's first federal credit union, federally insured by the NCUA.
Hello, I'm J.L. Shea, and 4 generations of Sheas have run our business in the same spot in downtown Homewood. People ask me from time to time why we do what we do. I can tell you that it's just not all about the clothes, although we are a little obsessive about the brands we bring into our store. No, we do what we do because of people just like you. And through all these years, I've learned one critical lesson. The most important part of a man's wardrobe is fit. When your clothes fit, they feel like part of you, not just something you put on in the morning. You move more easily, you feel more confident. And fit is not an accident or a matter of luck. It shows whether you're buying a made-to-measure suit, a jacket off the rack, or a pair of jeans. We're going to ensure that the fit is perfectly you. Come see us at Shea's. I promise you'll notice a difference. That's Shea's in downtown Homewood, where we have been since 1922.
All right, guys, I don't know about you, but there is one game I don't ever want to be out of. And that's why I'm glad we have the Alabama Men's Clinic right here in Birmingham. They have treated thousands of Alabama men for ED. There are many different causes like a heart condition, diabetes, a reaction to medication, or simply low testosterone. The Alabama Men's Clinic staff will find the problem, and some of you will be back in the game the day after your first appointment. You can set up that appointment by calling 205-598-7000 or go to the website, alabamamensclinic.com. I know what you're thinking. A lot of guys actually just take a pill, but sometimes that pill doesn't work, or it can give you unwanted side effects. Let the pros come up with your game plan. There's no need to wait. Depression, anxiety, a new connection with that special person in your life. It could be all just one important play away. Call 205-598-7000 or get back in the action at alabamamensclinic.com.
Want more of The Next Round? Download the app or visit nextroundlive.com for the latest podcast. The Mystery Fifth Hour, our Not For All Ages podcast, The Last Call, and the entire Double Down Media podcast family. All at nextroundlive.com and on the Next Round app.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Start your day online at nextroundlive.com. Get all the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. And it's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Nichols Outfitters brings us the final segment of the show today. Our friends at Nichols Outfitters Brownie getting you ready for the hunting season.
Yeah, camping and outdoor equipment, clothing and footwear, all your outdoorsman activities. You get it all at Nichols Outfitters in Pelham. Great prices for the brands you know and trust. Always be prepared with Nichols Outfitters. All exit 242 I-65 in Pelham. Visit them in-store or online, nicholsoutfitters.com.
A couple of recruiting notes of interest. One of those involved Georgia today. Georgia got a big-time flip from USC. 5-star defensive lineman Michael Williams was a USC commitment, and he has now flipped to Georgia. This comes after a big move yesterday where Georgia lost a 5-star wide receiver. Didn't lose him in a flip, just in a recruiting battle. It was Alabama, Georgia, and Missouri who ends up landing East St. Louis 5-star receiver Luther Burden. How many had Missouri to beat Georgia and Alabama in a recruiting battle for a 5-star wide receiver?
I'm glad a kid goes where he wants to go. If it had been my kid, I would want him to go where he wants to go, but I'd really been encouraging him to like Georgia and Alabama.
Yeah, maybe he wants to be a journalist.
Yeah, they got a good journalism.
Really good school there.
It's not like you can't go play there.
That is
the NFL.
surprising. The Michael Williams isn't as surprising because this is what happens when you don't have any stability and you don't know who the head coach is going to be. And so I'm sure Kirby Smart and everybody at Georgia is selling this kid, hey, look, USC has no idea who their head coach is going to be.
All right.
We've got stability here. We're not going anywhere. We're the number one team in the nation right now. We'll continue to be in the mix for years. USC has not even been close to a college football playoff. That was an easy flip.
And he's in this signing class, right? So he could potentially sign in December before USC even has their coach.
That's right.
Or at least within a couple of weeks of USC hiring them.
Nick Rolovich is and his legal team suing Washington State and their athletic director after his termination. We'll see what happens next with him. Jeff Banks, Joe Moorhead being mentioned as possible candidates there in Washington State. Obviously, Banks is a former player there. For Moorhead, he's such a big part of what Oregon is doing. How big of a loss would that be for the Ducks and what Cristobal is building? And do you think he's ready to be a head coach again at a place like Pullman? Starkville Pullman. That's Starkville of the Pacific Northwest, isn't it?
How weird! It would almost ultimately be like Mississippi State and Washington State had a coaching trade. You would end up with Moorhead, who was at Mississippi State, now at Washington State, and Leach the opposite.
Yeah, I don't think that's a terrible hire at all for Washington State.
No, I'd be okay with
there's
that.
no expectations. Joe Moorhead knows offense. He probably will know better this time around, coaching an FBS school and not having a lot of success with Mississippi State. But, you look at the Oregon offense going back to Ohio State. I mean, that was one of the best called games of the year. Guy knows offense. He just needs to know how to delegate a little bit better. And maybe this time around, he figures that out.
Yeah, I mean, we can't forget he was a successful head coach on a lower level, right? So it's not in what was he, Fordham, if I'm not mistaken? And he had won there before he got the Penn State job. So it's not like this guy has never had any success as a head coach. He hasn't been on this level, clearly. But, I think that would be a really good hire for Washington State because I think what we've seen at Washington State is you could take an offense-only guy and throw him in there and say, just go score as many points as you can. That guy can win 7 or 8 games in a good year there. And at Washington State, what more do you expect than that?
Who is your early pick to win the AFC Championship after seeing everything unfold? The Bills, even with their loss to the Titans, running away with this with 52% of the vote. The Titans with 22%. The Ravens with 18%. Other, which includes your Chiefs, at 6.5% there. I was surprised to hear Todd Fuhrman still speaking so highly of what the Chiefs are right now.
Well, and I know he watches a lot, but
he had him number 2 in the NFL, right?
Yeah, I still don't trust the defense. The offensive line, you've got 3 rookies up front, and Pat Mahomes is making decisions that aren't Pat Mahomes like. It's like somebody has invaded his body. Still makes some incredible plays here and there, but the play he made before half, just throwing the ball in the air where they had an easy 3 and throwing that interception, I mean, he's throwing picks like he's never thrown before, so I don't trust the Chiefs at all. To me, Bills, Ravens, best team in the AFC. Best teams.
69.3% of Braves fans. Do you think that Game 3 loss will cost you the series? 69.3% say yes.
Well, they've lived it. They hadn't seen a World Series in 22 years. They were up 2-0 last year. They were up 3-1. And, that's just one of those that you're 7 outs away. You've got a 3-run lead. The Dodgers, in the history of Brooklyn and L.A., down 3 runs in that situation, had never come back and won a game in that situation.
Your feeling about the series changes, though, today if the Braves win this game.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like last year. You and I had that stake bet after 2-0. Dodgers won that game 15-3. It was 2-1. Braves bounce back and go up 3-1. Then the stomach, you start to get that sinking feeling again that there's no chance they're going to win the series. But Urias back on the hill tonight against a bullpen start for the Braves. This is going to be tough sledding for the Braves. But if the Braves can figure out a way to keep the bats going, we mentioned Freddie Freeman last night, the night he had Adam Duvall, and they find a way to win this thing, then I think it obviously swings back in the favor of the Braves. Dodgers win tonight. This series, it's over.
That's brought to you by our Cowan Equipment folks. Cowan Equipment bringing you our poll questions every day right there at Next Round Live on Twitter. Brown will have the final thought after that.
Yeah, Cowan Equipment proud to partner with the Next Round on our new venture here. Would love the opportunity to partner with your company for your heavy equipment needs. Visit us. Go to cowan.com to find out more about how we can be your heavy equipment solution, from rental and new equipment sales to superior service and parts. For more information, cowan.com.
We already know Conference USA is losing, in all likelihood, UAB, UTSA, North Texas, Rice, Charlotte, and Florida Atlantic to the American.
They should have stopped at UTSA. UAB, UTSA, and the rest of them they should have left out.
Or Charlotte. I'm okay with Charlotte, too. But anyway, it appears now, according to many reports, that Southern Miss is a lock to go to the Sun Belt, which I think is an interesting fit for them.
Smart move
I
for
agree.
them. Smart move for them.
And reports are they're taking Marshall, too, the Sun Belt is. We may be watching the death of a conference right here. I don't know how Conference USA survives all this.
I don't think they will.
Yeah.
Because they're basically down now to Western Kentucky, Middle Tennessee, Florida International, Old Dominion, La Tech. I think that's it. UTEP. Oof.
Yeah.
That's rough. I mean, that's all that's left behind.
But see, what I would do if I was the American, I would reevaluate before I sign off on these applications. And I'm like, okay, those are dying. Which ones do I want to go with UAB and UTSA? Charlotte? Okay. I would rather have Louisiana Tech than I would North Texas. I would rather have,
They look at North Texas as getting in the Dallas market. That's what
but you've already got
at.
SMU.
Yeah.
Why do you need that?
Yeah.
I did not like the addition of all those other Conference USA teams. That's the show today. We're back tomorrow, live at 9 Central. The podcast is always available for you online. Our YouTube channel is there forever, but the stream on the app and at nextroundlive.com starts again at the top of the hour. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.